Walk into someone's living room in 2025 and you'll probably see the same thing, a giant shiny TV hanging on the wall. The owner brags, yeah, it's 4K. Maybe it even cost a couple $1,000. But then you sit down, grab a drink, and watch. And you can't help thinking, this looks not bad, not great, just fine. That's the dirty little secret of the TV world. A lot of people buy these big 4K panels but never actually see them at their full potential. Why? Because they're feeding them garbage signals. Old cable boxes, low-res streams, outdated Blu-ray players. It's like buying a Ferrari and only ever driving it in a school parking lot. Sure, it looks nice parked, but you're not getting anywhere near what it was built for, and that's where the magic combo comes in. OLED with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. When you pair these together, you stop watching TV. You start experiencing it. Ole, the rule breaker. Let's rewind for a second. Remember the old days of flat screens? LCD panels that promised high definition, but still looked washed out the second the lights were on. Blacks that weren't really black, just kind of a dark gray. Motion blur so bad you felt like you were watching sports through a foggy car window. OLED flipped that entire script. Instead of one giant backlight blasting through the screen, every single pixel in an OLED lights up or turns completely off on its own. That means when a scene goes black, it's not sort of black. It's infinite black, the kind of black you only see in a pitch-dark theater. Suddenly, shadows have depth. Explosions look three-dimensional. The night sky isn't just dots of white, it's a universe. I've seen people watch a jungle scene on an OLED for the first time and literally lean forward in their seat, trying to touch the leaves. That's how convincing it is. Owner experience. Week 1. Wow, this is incredible. Month 3. Every guest who comes over gasps when I turn on Netflix. Month 6. I can't even watch regular cable anymore. It looks broken. That's the OLED effect. Once you see it, there's no going back. Dolby Vision HDR that actually works. But picture alone isn't enough. You can have an OLED, but if the content isn't mastered for it, you're still missing out. That's where Dolby Vision HDR kicks down the door. Now, a lot of TVs slap HDR on the box, but most of it is fake HDR, like pouring cheap syrup on pancakes and calling it maple. Dolby Vision is the real deal. It's cinema-level mastering with thousands of levels of brightness and insane color precision. When you flip that switch, it's like going from regular glasses to prescription ones. Suddenly, the sunset isn't just orange. It's layers of gold, crimson, and violet melting into each other. Faces don't just look lit. You can see the sweat on a boxer's cheek, the fabric texture on a costume, the reflection in someone's eye. And the beauty is, Dolby Vision isn't rare anymore. It's everywhere. Netflix originals like Daredevil and Chef's Table, Amazon hits like The Boys, Disney Plus juggernauts like Mandalorian. Even random documentaries now come stamped with that Dolby Vision badge. Once you've seen the difference, that little logo becomes addictive. You start hunting for it. Dolby Atmos surround without the hassle. Now let's talk about sound, because visuals without sound are like fireworks with no boom. Dolby Atmos doesn't just come at you from the front, it surrounds you. It tricks your brain into thinking audio is happening above, behind, and around you, even if it's all coming from a single soundbar. Watch Top Gun, Maverick, and those fighter jets scream overhead like they're buzzing your living room. Stream a concert, and suddenly the crowd is behind you while the guitar solo shreds dead center. Even quiet shows change. In Chef's Table, you don't just see the knife slice. You hear it gliding across the cutting board with razor precision. Atmos turns your couch into the best seat in the theater. Owner experience. First Atmos demo. I swore there were speakers in my ceiling. There weren't. 3 months later, now when I hear regular stereo, it feels flat, like something's missing. The combo living room to theater. Now here's where it all comes together. You've got OLED for infinite contrast, Dolby Vision for jaw-dropping detail, and Atmos for immersive sound. That's the holy trinity. You invite friends over, pull up the Dolby Access app, hit play on a short demo, and suddenly they get it. The jungle scene feels alive. A slow-motion chameleon reveal has more drama than most Hollywood blockbusters. People don't just say nice TV, they shut up and stare wide-eyed because they've never seen anything like it. And the kicker, it's not just demo reels anymore. this tech is baked into streaming content you already watch daily. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus. Hundreds of shows and movies waiting to flex your setup. Why most people still don't see it? Here's the tragic part. Most people never unlock this experience. They buy a 4K HDR TV, hook it up to an old cable box or a cheap HDMI cable, and then complain that it doesn't look much better than their old set. Of course it doesn't. You bought the Ferrari and filled the tank with water. If you're not giving your OLED Dolby Vision content, you're wasting it. If you're not using Atmos, you're leaving half the immersion on the table. That's why so many people walk into a store, look at the wall of glowing TVs, and think, they all look the same. They don't. You're just not seeing the real deal. Here's the bottom line. When OLED meets Dolby Vision and Atmos, you don't just see sharper detail. You feel it. You react. Your heart beats faster during action scenes. You pause mid-bite during dinner because the food on screen looks tastier than what's on your plate. And yes, it spoils you. After a few weeks, everything else looks fake. Cable flat old HD channels unwatchable. Even some mid-tier 4K sets suddenly feel lifeless. Once you've tasted this level, you can't go back. The big takeaway, not all 4K is created equal. The badge on the box doesn't mean much without the right tech inside. If you're spending real money on a TV, make sure you're getting the trifecta: OLED, Dolby Vision, and Dolby Atmos. Otherwise, you're just throwing cash at a screen that will never show you what it's capable of. Choose wisely, and your living room stops being the place with a TV. It becomes a theater, an escape, a portal to something bigger. So, are you getting the most out of your TV, or are you just bragging about the size while feeding it junk? Drop your thoughts below and let me know which camp you're in. And if you want more brutally honest breakdowns of the tech that's worth your money and the junk you should skip, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join us here at NextGen Picks. Your wallet and your eyes will thank.